Okay, so we are getting back to our import case. Okay, so this is the same diagram we use for analysis of import. Now what we're going to see is the effect of tariff on total surplus. Okay, that's what we're going to see now. So what is tariff? Tariff is sort of an excise duty. So it's levied on imported goods. For example, if you're on imported goods, so if you're an importer and you imported shirts from China, so the government might require you to pay maybe $2 per shirt as tariff. Okay, so that's how we actually see tariff, sort of a tax. It's an excise duty. It's imposed on imported goods. So PW is our world price. We have already seen that. But we are not going to need the autarky price and autarky quantity for this analysis. We'll just remove it because already when you have imported, the current market price has actually jumped down to PW, and the current quantity supplied is QS, current quantity demanded is QD. So we don't really need the PA or autarky price anymore because we are not in an autarky anymore. We are in trade, international trade. So that's why we're removing those two lines. Okay, now suppose government imposes a tax on you. You are an importer, you want to import shirts from China, and the government imposes tariff on you, you have to pay taxes. Suppose the amount of tariff per unit is probably $T, okay? $T per unit. $T per unit, that's what you have to pay for each shirt that you import from China. So the question is, are you still going to charge PW? Are you still going to charge PW to your domestic customers? When you are importing shirts from China and you are selling in the domestic market, are you still going to charge this price PW when this tariff is imposed on you? Logically no, because you're being charged by the government and extra money. So you don't want to lose this amount of money. So you want to sort of transfer this tariff on the consumers. So what you're gonna do is, instead of charging PW, you're gonna charge a new price, which is new price is going to be let's call this one PT, which is PW plus T. Okay, so you're actually transferring the tariff onto your customers, and so what we have is this point here, PT. Okay, PT is our new price. That's what you're charging to the customers now after the tariff. So let's draw a new price line. Here is a new price line. Now, before doing any sort of analysis, first of all, the new price then is PT. So this gives us a new quantity supplied at this price, which we denote by QST, and the new quantity demanded, we denote that by QDT. Okay. So what you see here is after the tariff has been imposed, the quantity supplied has increased from QS to QST, but the quantity demanded in the market has decreased from QD to QDT. So quantity supplied increased, but quantity demanded decreased after the imposition of tax, or after the imposition of tariff, to be more precise. Now, a couple of things. Before you engaged in trade, the consumer surplus was given by the region between the vertical axis, which is this, the area between the vertical axis, the price line, and the consumer surplus. And the demand curve. Here, this triangle is your consumer surplus. How about the producer surplus? Is the area between the vertical axis PW, the price line, and the supply curve. Okay, so this small triangle was your producer surplus before engaging, before any sort of tariff was imposed. So let's label these regions first. Let's call this one A, this is B, this is C, this is D, this is E, this is F. We have a small triangle here. Let's call this G. I'm not sure if this is visible on the camera, but let me try to write it again. Let me use an arrow pen. This is G. This is G, and this is D. All right. Okay. Now we are ready to do our analysis of the effect of tariff on total surplus. I'm gonna erase this from here. I'm gonna need some space. So the consumer surplus before the trade, CS1, is equal to the upper big triangle, which is A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus G. Okay? A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus G. That's our consumer surplus before trade. Before tariff. And the producer surplus before tariff. The producer surplus before tariff was this small triangle, F, here, okay? After the tariff, the consumer surplus is given by the area between the new price line, which is PT here, the vertical axis, and the demand curve. Okay, so the region A gives us the new consumer surplus, which is what we're gonna write here. So CS2, the new consumer surplus after tariff, is A, and the producer surplus PS2 is given by the new price line. The vertical axis is given by the area between the new price line, the vertical axis, and the supply curve. Okay, so this is actually B plus F. B plus F is our new producer surplus. So let's calculate the change in consumer surplus now. Change in consumer surplus equals CS2 minus CS1, and so A minus A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus G, and we are left with negative B plus C plus D plus E plus G. Alright? So this is a negative number. So what we see is after the tariff has been imposed, the consumer surplus is decreasing. Okay, that's one conclusion. Let's have a look at the change in producer surplus now. Del PS equals PS2 minus PS1, and so let's write this down, B plus F minus F, we get B, so this is a positive number. That means the producer surplus is actually increasing after a tariff has been imposed. Now let's have a look at the change in total surplus. So to do that, we have to take the summation of change in consumer surplus and change in producer surplus. So change in total surplus, del TS, equals del CS plus del PS. Okay, so we have this negative thing here. We are opening the bracket now. We're taking the bracket off, so minus B, minus C, minus D, minus E, minus G. And we have B here, so plus B. Cancel this off. We are left with negative. We take the bracket again, C plus D plus E plus G. So we are putting all of the terms inside the parentheses. And now what we see is the total change in surplus is negative. It's a negative number. So the conclusion here is that when the government imposes tariff, the total surplus actually decreases. it decreases the consumer surplus, but it increases the producer surplus. But when you take both of them into account at the same time, you find the total surplus is actually decreasing. So the bottom line is, when you engage in trade, when you export, the total surplus increases. When you import, the total surplus again increases. But when you impose a tariff on imports, the total surplus decreases. Okay. All right, that's all actually I covered in my discussion. That's all I actually wanted to cover in my discussion section. And if you have any question, please do email me. If there is something that you don't understand here, please do email me or come and see me during my office hours. All right, thank you very much.